The champagne flute on the table wasn't just shaking. It was vibrating. For a second, I thought it was turbulence until my stomach dropped. Outside the oval window, the sky had turned into a nightmare. A silhouette, distinct, lethal, and impossibly close. Yeah, that was an F-22 Raptor drifting alongside us like it owned the sky. And before I tell you how fighter jet, an actual U.S. Air Force Raptor, ended up flying escort for me. Welcome back to Revenge with Father, where every story is wild, real, and absolutely worth your popcorn. But right now, my brain was stuck somewhere between no way and bro, what is happening? I was sitting on my uncle's private jet, his $60 million pride and joy Gulfstream, because he'd invited me on a family trip. Translation: he wanted a new excuse to flex on the rest of us like always. I'd barely even settled into the leather seat when he smirked at me over his designer glasses. Didn't know kids from your side of the family flew this high, he said. Dude, seriously? I muttered, trying to shrug it off. He tapped the glass screen next to him, pulling up his jet stats like he was unveiling a rare Pokemon card. Altitude, speed, flight path. This is generational wealth, son. His laugh was low, rich, rehearsed. I clenched my jaw. Mun, here we go again. Then he leaned in closer. You know why I invited you, right? He said, twirling the champagne in his hand. I raised an eyebrow. To insult me at 45,000 feet. He chuckled. To show you what real success looks like. You're drowning down there in your little job, while I'm out here negotiating with congressmen. He wasn't done. You should take notes, boy. Learn something. You'll never reach this level, but hey, at least you'll understand what you'll never have. My cheeks heated. My pulse spiked. Every word was a punch he enjoyed throwing. I glanced out the window to escape the humiliation, and that's when I saw it. A shape slicing through the clouds. Sharp edges. Cold metal. Getting closer. You gotta be kidding me, I whispered. My uncle scoffed. What now? Never seen another jet before. That's not another jet, I said. That's an F-22. He laughed in my face. You think the U.S. military is interested in you? Please. But the Raptor drifted even closer, matching our speed, tilting its wing, signaling directly at me. My uncle stopped mid-sip, eyes bulging. Why is it doing that? My heart hammered, because deep down I knew exactly why. And what happened next? Let's just say the humiliation he tried to dish out was about to flip right back on him. Hard. The F-22 didn't just fly alongside us. It stared us down. If a jet could stare, like it had picked this plane, this moment, and me on purpose. My uncle's face? Man looked like someone unplugged his entire operating system. Why is it so close? He stammered, clutching the armrest like it owed him money. The pilot of the Raptor tilted the jet again, just a small, deliberate move, but it felt like the sky itself shifted. Bro, that's a military signal, I whispered. My uncle shot me a glare. How would you know that? Because I'd seen that exact maneuver before. Not in person, nah, I wasn't that cool. But on a screen, in a video my dad once showed me. A video he wasn't supposed to have. My uncle leaned closer. Tell me what's going on. Right now. I didn't answer. Because the truth bubbling up inside me was something I'd never said out loud. Dad, what did you really do back then? And why were his ghosts suddenly circling this plane? The flight attendant rushed down the aisle, her face pale. Sir, she said to my uncle, the captain wants you in the cockpit. Immediately, my uncle pointed at me. He can come too, right? She blinked. Actually, the request was for him. She pointed at me. My uncle's jaw dropped. Excuse me? He's nobody. Ouch. But whatever. I was too focused on the F-22 shadowing us like it had adopted me. The attendant swallowed hard. The captain said the message was urgent and classified. Classified. My uncle froze. Classified for him? He works at a whatever pathetic place you work at. Warehouse, I said under my breath. Exactly. You should be stocking shelves, not dealing with U.S. Air Force messages. She didn't budge. Sir, the captain insisted. I stood slowly, heart racing, legs shaking, but pretending I was cool. Dude, I said to my uncle, I'll be right back. You sit down, he snapped. Nothing on this plane happens without my permission. but for the first time all flight. He wasn't the one in control. I walked past him, brushing his expensive suit sleeve on purpose. The flight attendant guided me to the cockpit door. Before opening it, she whispered, "I've never seen anything like this. Whatever's going on, they're here for you." My stomach twisted. Was this revenge? Fate? Karma? Or something my father did years before I even understood who he really was? The cockpit door opened, and what I saw inside, dude, I swear my soul almost left my body. The cockpit felt like stepping into another universe. Lights blinking, alarms chirping, screens flashing symbols I definitely wasn't supposed to recognize. But the craziest part? Both pilots turned toward me with the same look you'd give someone who just walked in wearing a NASA spacesuit. "You're him?" the captain asked. Dude, I'm not him. I'm just trying not to get roasted by my uncle in row 3. The co-pilot shook his head. "No, you match the profile. And the verification code." "Verification code? What code?" I didn't even know what my Wi-Fi password was most days. The captain pointed at a glowing message on the main screen. "Priority channel, Eagle Shadow Protocol. Confirm identity of Red Falcon Air." I blinked. "Bro, what language is that?" The co-pilot exhaled slowly. "Your father warned us there'd be a day you had no idea who he really was." My throat tightened. My father died when I was 10. Simple man. Mechanic. Quiet. At least, that's what everyone, especially my uncle, always told me. "You got the wrong guy," I whispered. The captain tapped a button, and a pop-up window displayed something that made my knees wobble. A photo. My father, wearing a uniform I had never seen. Not mechanic overalls. Not a store logo. A classified unit patch I didn't recognize, but the American flag was right there on his shoulder. My heartbeat hit warp speed. What is this?" The captain straightened. "Your father was part of an unlisted Air Force division. Code name, Red Falcon. He saved all our lives once. Maybe more." The co-pilot added, "And he left a file with us. Said it was for you. Only if the day came." I swallowed hard. "What day?" They exchanged looks. Heavy ones. "The day your uncle tried to take everything from you." My stomach dropped so fast I thought gravity glitched. "What did my uncle do?" The captain nodded at the F-22 outside. "That Raptor belongs to a pilot your father trained. He's the one who called in this protocol. He said he tracked unusual financial logs and political requests tied to your uncle." "Financial logs?" I muttered. "Dude, he's rich. He's always sketchy." "No," the co-pilot said. "This is different. This is national security level different." My pulse punched my ribs. "So what do they want with me?" The captain pointed at a sealed black case strapped to the cockpit wall. "Your father left this." "And the F-22 outside?" "He's not escorting your uncle." He locked eyes with me. "He's escorting you." A chill shot straight down my spine. But before I could ask another question, a violent jolt shook the entire plane. The co-pilot cursed. "What the?" The screen flashed red. "Warning. Unknown aircraft approaching fast." My breath hitched, because the silhouette closing in wasn't an F-22. And my uncle had just dug himself into something way darker than humiliation. The cockpit lights flickered as the plane lurched again, harder this time. The captain grabbed the controls. "Hold tight. This isn't turbulence." My heart hammered against my ribs. "Dude, something's chasing us." The co-pilot zoomed the radar screen. A new blip was racing toward our jet like it had a personal vendetta. And it wasn't friendly. "That's not any commercial plane," he muttered. Outside the window, the F-22 drifted slightly ahead, its sleek wings angling in a way that made my skin crawl. It wasn't escorting anymore. It was defending. "What do they want?" I asked, my voice cracking. The captain shot me a tight look. "Whatever your uncle's mixed up in. Someone doesn't want this plane reaching land." My stomach churned. I knew my uncle was shady. Every family reunion he bragged about deals that sounded more like crime podcasts. But this was a whole new level of terrifying. The cockpit door slammed open. My uncle stumbled inside, red-faced and sweating. "What is happening to my plane?" he roared. The co-pilot snapped, "Sir, sit down." "No, this is my aircraft, and I demand to know why there is military hardware circling us like we're under attack." I turned to him, for once having the upper hand. "Because someone is attacking us." He froze. Then he shot me a suspicious glare. What did you do? I almost laughed. Bro, you've been insulting me nonstop. Now you think I control fighter jets? The captain cut in. Sir, do you have enemies? My uncle scoffed. I'm a businessman. Everyone's an enemy. Not the flex you think it is, I muttered. But the pilots weren't amused. The co-pilot said quietly, we picked up communications. Someone on board this plane was flagged for involvement in illegal arms negotiations. My uncle's face drained of color. That's ridiculous. He stuttered. I attend meetings. I sit with politicians. The captain narrowed his eyes. Exactly. And someone in those meetings wasn't who they said they were. My breath caught. Are you saying, I whispered, someone wants my uncle gone, and the Raptor thinks I'm the one who needs protection? The captain didn't answer. He didn't need to. The F-22 outside suddenly broke formation and shot upward, like a hawk spotting a threat. A shadow streaked through the clouds behind us. Dart sharp fast. What is that? I shouted. The radar pinged louder. Unknown aircraft locking on. My uncle grabbed my shoulder. This is because of that stupid message. They're after you, not me. The captain snapped. They're not after him. He pointed straight at my uncle. They're after you. My uncle's mouth fell open. No, that's impossible. But the co-pilot whispered something that made the hair on my arm stand. Whoever's chasing us wasn't expecting your nephew to be protected by Red Falcon protocol. The cabin shook violently again. And then, through the windshield, we saw something that made all of us stop breathing. The F-22 fired a warning flare. At us. The flare burst outside the cockpit like a tiny sun, blinding bright and terrifyingly close. My uncle screamed. The pilots cursed. And me? My brain just flatlined for a second. Dude, why is our escort firing at us? I yelled. The captain slammed a hand on the console. It's not firing at us. It's signaling us. Signaling what? My uncle shrieked. The co-pilot swallowed hard. That we have seconds to respond before this becomes a military incident. My uncle grabbed the headrest, shaking. This is my jet. My jet. I'm a respected. The captain cut him off. Sir, somebody flying that unknown aircraft wants you taken out. The Raptor wants us to cooperate so it can help you survive. My uncle blinked rapidly, sweat dripping down his neck. Why me? I didn't, this can't. But the truth was written all over his face. He knew. He knew exactly why. And suddenly, so did I. Uncle, I said, stepping closer. What did you do? Nothing, he whispered. But his voice cracked. Man, don't lie now. Your deals, your secret meetings, you've been playing with fire. He slammed a fist against the wall. You don't understand. These politicians, they promised backing. They needed a middleman. I was just facilitating. That word never means anything good, I muttered. He grabbed my shirt collar. You don't get it. If they think I talked, if they think I switched sides, they'll assume this entire plane is compromised. The radar screamed again. Unknown aircraft approaching, 1,000 feet. The cockpit fell dead silent. The captain whispered, if we don't respond to the F-22's signal, it'll assume we're part of the hostile situation. I froze. You mean it might force us to land? He nodded grimly. Or force us out of the sky. My uncle wheezed. I didn't sign up for this. I only wanted leverage. Money. Influence. I exhaled sharply. That greed of yours? It's dragging innocent people down with you. Again. He stared at me. Again. The co-pilot turned. He knows, sir. He saw the Red Falcon file. My uncle lurched back like he'd been slapped. You open that? He spat at me. Yeah, I said. Turns out Dad wasn't just some quiet mechanic you always talked down about. His eyes darted away. He was part of a classified Air Force division, I continued, and he left something behind. For me. My uncle's jaw tensed. That file wasn't yours, he muttered. It should have been destroyed. But it wasn't, I shot back. And now I know why you hated Dad succeeding. Why you belittled him. Why you tried to bury anything he left behind. He didn't speak. He didn't have to. The guilt on his face said everything. The captain grabbed the sealed black case. Open it, he told me. My palms sweated instantly. What if it's dangerous? It wasn't meant for your uncle, the co-pilot said quietly. It was meant to save you. My uncle lunged. No, don't. Too late. I popped the latches. Inside was a single item, a red-coated military ID badge. One word printed on it. Clearance, air. The captain's breath caught. This is a passcode badge. It gives emergency authority in Red Falcon operations. My mind exploded. You're saying this badge outranks whatever my uncle's involved in? It outranks almost everything, the co-pilot whispered. This badge can transfer protocol control to you. The cockpit shook again. The unknown aircraft now, so close the windows rattled. The F-22 outside tilted sharply, signaling again. Urgent. Demanding. The captain handed me the radio headset. They're asking for Red Falcon confirmation. My uncle grabbed my arm. Don't. If they confirm you, I'm done for. I stared at him. Every insult, every humiliation, every time he tried to crush my future, every time he lied about my father. And now the truth was clear. He didn't fear losing money. He feared losing the power to keep the rest of us small. I put the headset on. I hesitated, then held up the badge. Red Falcon Air. Confirm protocol. The response came instantly. A calm, authoritative voice. Revenge with father. Protocol acknowledged. Escort confirmed. Neutralizing hostile threat. My uncle's knees buckled. Revenge with who? He whispered. I looked him dead in the eyes. Dad didn't leave you anything, but he left me everything. Outside, the F-22 broke formation, then shot upward toward the unknown aircraft like a silver blade slicing the sky. The radar lit up. The threat peeled away instantly, vanishing into the clouds like it realized it had messed with the wrong bloodline. The danger was over, but the fallout? Just starting. When we landed, federal agents were waiting on the tarmac. Not for me. For him. My uncle was dragged off the jet shouting my name like it would save him. But it couldn't. Not anymore. One agent walked up to me, nodding with respect. You. Father will be proud. I swallowed hard, trying to keep my voice steady. Yeah, I whispered. He finally got his last move. As the sun set behind the runway, the F-22 soared past overhead, tilting its wing. Not at the jet, not at the agents. At me. A final salute. A father's unfinished fight completed.